okay, you know what? Let's be adults about this and do what's best for the child.
Back, it's been a couple weeks since the last show. Last show was welcome back. Been a couple weeks since the last show. Last show was a little serious. Glad everybody came back with positive responses on the last show.
Yeah, definitely appreciate the feedback. Definitely much needed and much appreciated.
Yeah, it was a serious topic, and the responses, the fact that people were like coming up to me saying like they like that. The way we handled ourselves, first of all, and then the way we handled the subject matter, which was pretty much sensitive to everybody, black, white, whatever. But to jump into this episode here, first of all, welcome back to school to all the young kids out there, the little ones from elementary all the way up to high school. Mom and dad are back in their routine again.
Exactly, yeah. I'm sure the parents are definitely jumping for joy.
Oh, yeah, and
definitely jumping for joy.
And to any of the kids in high school watching this right now, be lucky. Yeah. Embrace these years and appreciate the years, and just to see what your mom and dad or whoever's raising you, what they actually go through to, to sacrifice for you and everything like that.
100%, yeah.
The first thing I wanted to touch on was parenting, because back to school, so I wanted to hit on parenting real quick. The aspect of when mom and dad aren't together and parenting from two different households. Unfortunately, everything in this day and age isn't perfect. Couples don't stay together. You're blessed to be married to the mother of your child. I'm blessed in the same way, but some for whatever reason aren't there. I always look at it like this: as long as, and we touched on it in previous, probably like the first two shows, it comes down to the communication between the two parents. And as long as the lines of communication are clear, and they're on the kid, they're not on dad's agenda because he's not dating mom, or they're not on mom's agenda because she's not dating dad.
Exactly.
And they're about the kid, and that's like number 1, 2, and 3. As long as they're about the well-being of the kid, then it's complicated because you don't live in the same house. Mm-hmm. But as long as you have the same goal, and that is the well-being of the child, then it could be as successful as possible experience.
Yeah. And that's the thing too. I mean, if you're gonna, if like you said, if you always keep the child as that's the whole entire centerpiece of everything, it definitely makes it a lot more conducive, definitely for everybody, because that's what it all comes down to.
Exactly.
Whether you like it or whether you don't, you have this child, and this child is not going anywhere.
No.
So you can either be, okay, you know what, let's be adults about this and do what's best for the child, or we can make each other's life miserable.
Exactly. in the end, that's going to do something to the kid. Yeah. Psychologically.
Oh yeah, and we see that too. A lot of times, kids play the parents against each other.
Yep.
You know what I mean? They play parents
smart.
Against each other. Yeah. Dad won't let me do this. Oh, let me go over to mom's side. Oh, mom will let me do it, and it goes back and forth. Or a lot of times we see the kids respond in like a very disrespectful, rebellious.
Because they're not seeing any rules laid down between. They're seeing mom and dad act like kids.
Exactly.
It's just like a big party.
Yeah.
Everybody should act like kids.
Exactly. Yeah. Mom and dad fight.
So why not
me? Yeah.
Why not me be able to be aggressive when I handle situations at school or on the playground?
Yep.
or at home with
Yep.
mom and dad. One thing that I wanted to say was, if you're in separate households, of course, mom's going to have a new boyfriend, dad's going to have a new girlfriend. You have to establish parameters that person can't cross.
Yeah.
I mean, honestly,
That's
because, and I see it every day, from people I don't know online, from people I do know, and it's just unhealthy across the board to have someone who had nothing to do with the scenario
adding into it.
playing a major role in influencing
Your kid, yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
yeah.
And that's you hit that nail really on the head, because it's already hard enough balancing between the two, the mom and the father. Now you have this extra woman or this extra man putting their influence in on it too. It's a free for all. It turns into literally a free for all.
And that's it. And it's like you're getting information about your business. You and that man created a business, your child. That's the business. You're getting input on someone who had nothing to do.
Yeah, exactly.
You
That's
know,
a
with
great-
anything. They didn't put one piece of that foundation in there. I mean,
Yeah.
and most of the time when they're giving advice, from what I see, it's kind of like they're just adding more flames. If the fire was low, they're going to add a whole bunch of gasoline to it. So it just,
Exactly.
and you're apart for a reason.
Yeah.
Because you don't want to be with that man or that woman. So just the outside influences, make sure they have the kid's best interest also at the end of the day.
Yeah, and that's the honest truth. Because I mean, what it comes down to is whether you guys like each other or whether you guys hate each other. Regardless, at the end of the day, that kid is going to be the byproduct of whatever whatever environment that you guys create for him or her. So, like you said, either you guys can do it together like adults and do what's best for the child, or literally it will come back to bite you, and you're in the end you're just hurting the kid.
And that's
I don't think people understand
No.
that. Yeah.
And I mean, you can't expect for the kid to react except for the way they react.
Yeah.
And most times they're going to act like how, mom and dad are acting.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? So,
exactly. And that's, and the thing is too, it's one of those things where I don't think a lot of people understand. A child is not used to be as a form of bringing hurt or coming back at the person, like leverage. You know,
like revenge or bait.
Exactly. If it's over, it's over. But you gotta be, you know what, whether it ended good, bad, indifferent, whatever, you have to understand that at this point, it's over. It's all about the child. So I have to make sure that we raise this child together and not try to use him or her as leverage in the court or whatever it may be.
Like a pawn to hurt so-and-so's feelings, a pawn to get financial gain. You know what I mean? Like a pawn to keep a broken relationship going.
Mm-hmm.
Like it already ended.
Yeah.
Because you're not together.
Exactly.
So to dangle a child around for whatever purpose, most of the time it's financial. A lot of the times it's just to hurt that person who left.
I think so too. Yeah.
Just to make them feel like I can't hurt you because I'm not dating you no more. So I'll hurt you with the one thing that God allowed two people to create, which is the child.
Yep.
And
Exactly.
For whatever reason, dude or whoever left, they were wrong for whatever reason. But to dangle the kid in the middle, think about what you're doing to the kids. To their psyche, to their mental.
Exactly. And the kids are a lot smarter than people let on. They'll at some point, if they don't know what's going on, they'll pick it up.
They'll piece it together.
Yeah, they'll piece it together, and they'll pick up even what you did in the past.
Yeah.
It always comes back. They'll find out.
Oh,
you know
honestly,
what I mean? They'll find out. Look, if they get if they get any inclination that in the past Daddy wasn't around because Mom did everything in her power to keep him away, or vice versa, or you know what, dad did not give mom any type of support, or you know, or anything like that, and made her life miserable, it'll come back on you.
Always, it'll come back harder.
They'll pick it up.
Yeah,
they'll pick it up.
It'll come back extra hard. So that was, you know what I mean, that just to stay on track. I mean, you know, we're back to school, so there's a lot of things going on with the moms and the dads. That was the first thing. Another thing I wanted to jump on was just like the time management. And unfortunately, it's not like 50, 60 years ago when dad worked and mom was able to stay at home. Yeah, a lot of
times have changed.
Yeah. So in this economy now, more than likely, both parents are working full time, you know, 9 to 5, whatever. And one thing that always comes up, and I know we have it in my house, is time management. Son played basketball, daughter did gymnastics, mom and dad both work. And someone saying, what's a good way to try to keep everything on course as far as time management? One thing I would always say is, if you can, and I know you can't control like your schedule at work or everything like that, but if you have a career, make sure you separate home and work.
Yeah.
I see a lot of people now, and it's bad enough we're at work for 9 hours a day.
Thank you. I mean, do you have to bring work home too?
Yeah, and you're coming home with the laptop, and you're, you know what I mean, you're logging on from home. And I mean, I told one of my cousins the other day, I said, I understand you're working 12, 13 hours a day, but don't lose sight of why you're working. It's not just for money. I mean, if you're not going to be around to enjoy the benefits of your job with your family, then what's the point?
Yeah, and that's one thing I never really quite understood about people who literally work 70, 80 hours a week. Yeah, that's great, you're making money. Of course you should be. You're working literally double a man's shift.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But it's like, when do you enjoy yourself? I mean, life is about balance. And what's the use if I'm making all this money, but I work, I never have any time to spend it or be with anybody.
I miss the soccer game.
Yeah.
I miss the basketball game.
There's nothing worse than that, because it's one of those things where, you know, we're both career-oriented guys, you know, educated. But at what we always, one of the things I think that we have in common and have been taught is a healthy balance in life. And as far as maintaining, okay, I work this much, but I spend this much time, you know, to enjoy myself and enjoy the fruits of my labor and spend time with my family and do stuff.
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, that company doesn't care about you.
No,
you're an employee.
No.
You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, you're a number.
That's it. You're a number. Yeah. And at the end of the day, your family, your children, your wife, whatever, your friends, those are the people who are going to be around. Mm-hmm. At any day, you could walk in and be fired.
Yeah. That's sad but true. Yeah. I mean, it's,
you know, and if you don't, your friends, your family, your kids, those are the people who are going to love you regardless, whenever you're on the bottom, you know? And if you don't, to me, definitely we all like nice things. We all would like to have a nice salary and stuff like that. But to me, it's just as important to have that balance of recreational and family time and time to, you said, watch the kids grow in the first day of school and stuff like that. You want to give that up?
You want to be there? Yeah. You can't. I always try to place more focus on the things that I can't buy.
Yeah.
I can't get back. Mm-hmm. Like, you want to be able to be there for if your daughter has a recital or she does. Exactly. You don't want to have to be there on a computer working, trying to.
Yep. Dude. I remember, it's funny you say that. Like, literally just before we met up, I saw James Harrison retire.
Yeah.
And he was like, I don't want to miss another first day of school, another soccer game, another whatever it is. And to me, that was so relevant, because that's the truth. I mean, you miss all that, and you can't get that back.
You don't want to hear about big moments.
Yeah, like, exactly.
Big moments in your house, you should be there for those. You should be the one recording them and, doing whatever. You don't want to have your family moments like Sports Center. You got to catch them later.
Exactly. Yeah, I gotta see it
after everybody else tells you.
Exactly.
You were at work while your daughter rode her bike.
Yeah.
She, you know what I mean?
That's not coming back.
No, your son, son or daughter, he scored his first touchdown. You were working, but
yeah. And that's there's nothing. I mean, I was so happy. My dad always had a hectic, crazy schedule, but he always made sure that there was a balance, and that's just how it was. And this day, this is my daughter's thing. This is my son's football game, and I'm not answering the phone. If somebody passed away, they'll be passed away, and by tomorrow when I get to it, it's just how it is.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Like, and that to me was something that I felt was really handed down. Was a valuable lesson.
A lot of people they'll sacrifice for the company.
Yeah.
They'll sacrifice for the good of the team.
Yep.
But they won't sacrifice for the family because they feel like, well, I need this check. I need these hours.
Yeah.
I need this.
Well, I'd be a slave to it. You're like a slave to
It's bad enough we'll spend more of our lives working than we will doing recreational things with our family. You know what I mean? I'll spend more time in the office than I will at home on the couch with the wife and kids.
Yeah.
And I mean, so as far as managing your time, I would tell, husband and wife and husband, when you're really locking in on that career, examine it. Look at not just the benefits package, but look at the stress level you might get from it as far as what you're taking home, what's expected.
Oh, yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's what I look at in my career. Like there's certain career moves and jobs that I just will. You can't pay me enough. I'm just not. I'm not taking that, and I don't care how much it pays because I literally am not going to work myself into an early grave.
And you see it all the time. You see 30-year-old dudes with gray hair, look like they're 50, stressed out.
It's like, no way, man. You know what?
You talk to bosses and CEOs, and they're like
alcoholics.
They never even wanted to start a family because they know they're never going to be around to enjoy it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And
they're married miserable or divorced 5 million times. They're never around. And it's like that to me it's sad, and it's also one of those things where I think they really, if they would take the time to really look and prioritize themselves and really look and see, okay, what is not important, truly important to me, and I think they would really reassess that situation, because you working that many hours and having a family or wanting to have a family, I'm telling you right now, it won't work.
Because I was at GNC in their corporate office, and I seen last week their one of their big CEOs. He's like, I'm done. And people are like, oh my God, he was making millions. And I was thinking to myself, I know him, I met him a couple times, and I'm thinking to myself, he's been doing that for 15, 20 years. He's making millions a year, every year. Yeah, General Nutrition Center. He's making 1 year I was there, he made like 15, 16 million. And that's not counting bonuses and
stock options.
Exactly. So I'm like, why wouldn't you, in your early 50s,
quit while you're ahead.
And enjoy
your health,
the rest of your
money,
life and your family and your
And that's the thing too. How much money do you need?
Thank you.
That's one thing I don't understand.
So his grandkids will have money.
Yeah.
It's not like he was out rolling dice at the casino and he's going to lose it. No, you structure yourself so the next ones after you can have money. It's like you don't get out a life insurance policy, so when you die, your kids don't get anything.
And that's funny. That's funny you say that. One of my goals has always been, since I got married, and I always try to reassess my goals 5 year, 10 year,
Yeah.
One of my goals was to take a year off and just be with my family. To one day get to a position where I can take a year off And we're hard workers. We've always been working. We've always had jobs. We went to school. We did everything. We did everything by the book.
Get to that point where your money works for you.
Yeah, and exactly. And it's just relax for a year and watch my kids grow and enjoy time with my wife and spend time with my friends and family. And it's like that to me is a legitimate, serious goal that I want to accomplish, because to me, I think that everybody needs that time.
Yes. Yeah.
You know, I think everybody needs a time frame where it's just you and your family.
Because depending on like what field or what part of the labor force you're in, whether you're in a factory, you know, if you're in corporate America, you're in there with the suit and ties, and mentally, some days you don't want to come in.
Yeah.
I mean, there's some days I don't want to talk to anybody at work. And you know, and it's not cool. Like, I just want to come in and put an iPod on and do what I have to do and leave. And that's it.
Same exact thing here. There's some days where it's just like, I don't feel like it. I just don't feel like dealing with it. Like, and I deal with computers. And I just like, I don't feel like dealing with it. I don't feel like dealing with the whole of resetting things and programming, and I don't feel like doing it. Like I don't.
You really don't. Like I told somebody on Saturday, I was talking to someone, and I was like, I said honestly, if I could do this every day, I wouldn't consider it work at all. And I told somebody, I said, like you just said, everybody sets goals. So I set goals with this. I set goals at my job now. I set family, you know, family goals. Want to go to Disney World with the kids. You want to do whatever. But I'm like, honestly, give me, because I believe in the mission, and I believe in the process that we're taking. We're not going too fast. We're not going too slow.
Yeah, we're putting a good quality.
Thank you.
It's about quality. You know, not quantity.
Everything that we're investing into this, managing this time. And it's funny because people really think we don't still get up and go to work every day. Like if today was a normal Sunday, I'd have to, if today was a regular Sunday, I'd be in bed in about 2 hours. Like, and like I told my buddy Saturday, I said, honestly, in the window of, I would say the next 2 years, as long as we stay on this right path, that's what will set myself up to be like, the money will be working for us.
Yep.
And people, and like I said, you never hear us say, oh, I want to get rich off it. No, you want to do something that you don't feel like it's work.
Yeah.
Like ask my son, like, what would you like to do all day for a living? Probably say play video games. Yeah. That's what you want if you can position yourself. That's what you want your job to feel like. You can get up in the morning and the money work for you, and you'll be able to reap all the benefits, not just some of the benefits, but all of the benefits. You won't have to ask somebody to take a day off to spend it with your wife and kids.
Exactly. You can enjoy yourself. That to me that's priceless. Yeah. And if you could find something that you love doing, and whether it made you millions or whether it made you $50,000, $100,000, you are a rich man. Like you're a rich woman or man, because you're doing what you enjoy doing, and you know what? That's better than money. It is, because the government can't come, the tax man can't come and take it away. Nobody can come and borrow it from you and take it. You're not going to go in debt over it. It's like the purest happiness, self gratification. You can't lose. You cannot lose. It's a win-win. And that's what I said. I set goals with this. To set ourselves up to be on the right track, and every day it's chipping away, and every video is chipping away. And to jump into another thing, basically it's just everything's flowing, like sacrificing for your family, making sacrifices for your family. I know a lot of times it's not just about
taking a bad job, a job that you don't want, or hours you don't want. Sometimes it's actually putting things on hold. I mean, your husband wants to finish school. Your wife wants to get her, PhD or master's or whatever. And I don't see a lot of people today that are willing to take a sacrifice for their family.
Yeah.
They'll put everything on the line for, for their friends or, for their job. And I hate to see people invest their lives into their job.
Yeah, because the return is nowhere near what you think it's going to be. It's just not. I mean, you've seen countless times people, I put in 30 years and get laid off.
You see it every day when you see people that are like, so-and-so just quit for no reason, but they were making real good money. And once you say so-and-so quit and you follow up by they were making real good money, it's bigger. That lets you know some things are bigger than money.
Exactly. And that's the thing about it. Like, priorities are so underutilized in today's day and age. It's just make money.
Yeah.
Make money.
Yeah.
Like, it doesn't matter how you make it or who you have to step on or neglect or whatever it may be. Get money. And to me, if that is your whole disposition toward life, to me, that you don't have much of a life. Because I mean, if all you can only you just want to make money so you can just buying stuff will get old after a while. You can only buy so much stuff. What are you gonna do with it
anyway? Like a house full of gadgets or
exactly
a
big house
full
by
of
yourself.
Cars.
Yeah.
And all you hear is echoes in the house because you're the only one there.
Thank you.
I mean,
that to me is just. It just blows my mind when I see people who their whole objective in life is to get. It makes me think how lost they really are.
And I feel like, okay, when you're younger, when you're like 16, 17,
exactly.
You're like, oh, when I get older, I just want to have a whole bunch of money. But if you haven't progressed or grown as a man or a woman to once you do get a good job and a family and you're still on pace, that's still your motivation. You don't really get it.
Yep.
You don't really get the bigger picture. I mean, honestly, look at some of and you've been one of the biggest companies around in our city, probably one of the top 2 biggest companies in our city.
Yeah.
And you can see people in there who make 7 figures. And most of the time they don't seem happy at all.
No, not at all. And we see that all the time where you see dudes and they're making buku cash. And they just look so exhausted. And you're just like, oh man, that guy, you think he would be happy. There's nothing he can't really buy, or anything. And you see how miserable, or you see how lonely he or she is, or how stressed out they are. They're like a slave to that money. You know what I mean? Like wherever they have to do to get that, then that's whatever money tells them to do, then that's what they have to do. And to me, that to me is just, that's no way to live. I mean, that's no way to live, and that's no way to live if you plan on living a long life. No. Because that emptiness,
that'll drive you to death quicker, literally, than it'll keep you going, keep you living.
Yeah. Like, you see dudes having to take something to go to sleep, something to wake up in the morning, something to keep them
going. Like coffee don't work.
Yeah.
And Red Bull don't work.
Thank you. Yeah. I mean, that's just, to me, like, I mean, you see these guys on Wall Street and stuff sleeping under their desks, not going home for 2 and 3 days at a time. That to me, I don't care if they're paying you $1 million a year. That's not, to me, that's insane. No. I mean, that's insane. I could see once in a blue moon, but on a weekly basis, oh my goodness, no.
And it always looks good from the outside. Yep. When you're coming up and you're from a lower middle class family, it always sounds good in theory, but when you're out there actually in corporate America and you see the people every day who actually make that, they don't. And I've talked to some, and they're not happy at all. They wish they could just go home after work you know, and
And
lay
chill out.
on the floor, and wrestle the kid, and watch a movie with the wife and fall asleep. No,
They don't have that.
they don't go home from work. They work from home. They work on the way.
Yeah.
They never put the BlackBerry down.
Thank you.
They ever.
Yeah.
Ever.
And that's the thing. That's a line that I drew years ago. When my shift is over, if I'm not on, and I'm on salary, and whenever I leave that office, if it's not something that we had planned, like, okay, you know
Yeah,
what, this
yeah.
day you're gonna have to go home and log off from home if you want to go home because this is the end of this project or whatever. I'm done.
Yeah.
I'm done.
I'm a
Don't-
firm believer in that.
Yeah. When I
Like-
walk through that threshold,
Like,
it's a wrap.
I can take my laptop home if I want to, unless my supervisor or manager says I need you to, or there
I'm
was
not.
something sent
Yeah.
out. It's at work.
It's
It'll
at work,
be
yeah.
here at
It'll be
8
here
a.m.
tomorrow.
when I get
Yeah,
there.
exactly.
It's
yeah.
there now. It'll be there Tuesday when
Thank
I
you.
go back.
Exactly.
But yeah, the sacrifices, and I see like on the positive side. I mean, I have a buddy of mine, and I see how he sacrificed for, you know, his family, and that's one thing I always respect about certain dudes, that in this day and age we see so many women bashing, you know, my kid's father doesn't do this, the baby's dad doesn't do this. We never hear about dudes who actually do what they're supposed to. It's always glorified when you do the wrong thing. And I know some people are like, well, he's supposed to do. No, I know a couple dudes, like, I don't want to be rude, but I don't respect many dudes because I don't think they would lay down their lives for their family like they're supposed to. They feel like, well, it's too cold to get up and go to work in January, February. I don't want to catch a bus all the way to Pittsburgh because, you know, I'm in Ambridge and that's kind of far.
Yeah.
You know, I don't want to start my way up from entry level to this, to make it, you know, to a certain level. And that's why my circle of male friends is super small.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, there's about
yeah.
3.
Literally.
About 3 dudes.
I know exactly what you mean.
I'm like, I only respect. I could care less how dudes dress, or I don't respect dudes who, to me,
the bigger picture. Yeah, there's so much.
they lay it all on
the
the line every day.
Yeah, and that
for their
to
family.
me is so important because when you look at life as a whole, how you dress and all that other stuff, it's cool, but it really has no really firm grip on life as a whole.
No.
How you conduct yourself, how you can take care of your family, your children, your wife, significant other, girlfriend,
Yes.
whatever it may be. That is, to me, is when you start to look at a person's true DNA. You know,
What
and like you
defines
said,
you.
yeah, what defines, what's your passion? What, you know, what is, and that to me is very important because what you said, well, like you said, you see a lot of guys who really, they don't really want to put it on the line.
No.
They don't put it all on the line.
No, they're
They
like,
put it on the line for other things that are not
or
important.
show out
Yeah.
to go out.
Yeah.
Go
Exactly.
go ball hard with their boys, and you know, and it's funny to me, and I'm
Yeah.
like, and I'm not talking about dudes that are like 21. They're like 33, 35,
Yep.
40,
Yep.
you know, grown men in age.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, it just, so when I see dudes who actually make the sacrifice, like, I'm gonna fall back, my wife wants to finish school, or my wife wants to take this position, and they're not afraid to, you know, move to the side, knowing that the bigger picture is what it's all about.
It's about the team. It's about the team. Exactly. I think so many people too, a lot of times too, dudes don't see the big picture.
No.
They don't see
No.
how, you know what, okay, me taking a step to the side,
Thank you.
for her to take a step forward, in the long run, I'll catch up and we'll be able to put us in a better position.
Exactly. we're still on the same team.
Yeah, we're still on the.
If I score a
all going to the
touchdown and
same
we're on the
thing.
same team, we're both winning.
Thank you.
It doesn't matter
Thank
if I
you.
throw it to you or you
Thank
throw
you.
it to me.
Exactly, and that's what I think so many dudes don't truly understand, because they're so self-centered, and they're so into, okay, this is what I need to do, this is what I need to put. And it's like, well, are you trying, is it about you both, or is it about, I mean, because is it about, you know, enriching the lives of your child, like, or is it about, you know, you buying a new pair of Jordans?
Dude, yeah. That's serious. And I mean, I don't know, that's the key word, like the bigger picture. I don't think a lot of dudes realize that you're not making a sacrifice when it's benefiting that other person, because it's just going to make you better. I mean, honest, in the long run, it's like, it's going to make you better. It should.
Yeah.
It should make you want to strive to, you know, to achieve more. So, like I said, that was one thing that, you know, I wanted to touch on, just to anybody out there who actually, men and women, but especially some dudes, friends of mine. Like I said, my circle, it gets smaller. I remember, was it Deacon Ojo from the church said back when I was like 19. He said, the older you get, Matt, he said, right now you're young. Your circle is, you can't even put your arms around it. He said, watch how old, the older you get. He said, you'll be able to hold that circle in one hand.
Yep.
So I just wanted to touch on that.
Yeah, man, and that's the honest truth. I mean, you'll see it. I mean, even in younger guys watching this, younger women, you'll see as you get older, that circle will.
Yeah, the more your values increase, the more
Yeah.
your circle decreases.
Yeah.
Honestly. And you'll have the, you'll get the right players on the team.
Yep.
And I always say team because it's like, so the sports metaphors are the best. You'll release some players.
Yep. Some people just ain't a good fit.
No.
Some people don't have the talent. Some people don't have the best interest of the team.
No.
Yeah. I mean, that's life.
Honest. Yeah.
So we'll go ahead and we're going to go ahead and start wrapping it up though. But one of the things I wanted to touch on too, One Voice, we're trying to get to 1,000 likes. So please encourage, tell people, spread the word, get it out. Definitely go to the One Voice Facebook page. We're trying to get to 1,000 likes, and we definitely have some cool prizes for some of the people who help get us there. So please definitely subscribe to the YouTube page. And what a great note, we have our website coming out this week.
Coming out this week, so hitting you from every angle. Like the feedback we've been getting, everybody's been waiting for the website. The website will be dropping. And like I always tell people, like my man always tells people, when you don't see us for a couple of days, he's working, I'm working on this. We never stop working on this. But like I said, subscribe to the YouTube page, youtube.com/onevoice. If you have any comments, shoot the email, onevoice.jg.mg@gmail. And yeah, we want to get the likes to 1,000. I'm saying by Halloween, and we got t-shirts, little prizes here and there to throw out at the people. Tell a friend to tell a friend. And like I always stress, support your local homies, your brothers, your sisters, your friends. If they have something going on, local business, or they have a channel on YouTube, they're opening a business. Shout out to the Gist business that's up here in Ambridge. It's actually, you can sit in and eat, or you can, take out and eat. So, and I wouldn't lie about the food's off the hook. And if you're from Alicopa, they had a catering spot over there back in the day. I'm not just saying this because Marlon's my man. It's his sister's business. They opened it up, and it's off the hook, man. So I would check them out. Anything to support the local.
Definitely support the local.
Dame and Gann, the barbershop here.
Yeah, definitely big up. I'll be seeing y'all soon. But man, that's huge. So definitely support. And definitely keep us in mind. Like I said, we and also too, we got a big surprise coming for everybody too. We'll let y'all in slowly but surely. But we got a big surprise coming for y'all. So I think it'll pique some of y'all's interest. So
a lot of y'all. Yeah. So, like, once again, thank you for tuning in.